What is going on, all you spies? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed. This is Reviewed number 66, and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is the sequel to Fantastic Four from 2005. So, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Uh, this movie was so good. Like, it improved by the first one by really showing the characters as they are from the comics. I mean, like I said last week, I never read the comics, but I noticed a lot of things from the comics that were accurate. I mean, they really went into detail with the costumes, and they really did a good job with making them look accurate. Because I was looking at online for what the costumes look like, and my goodness, they look accurate. They look exactly like they were taken out from the comic, like last time when I said like this. But this was a really interesting movie because not only was a sequel to the last one. Unfortunately, they never made a third installment. Well, they're actually going to plan on coming back for a third installment, but they never did. But this was Rise of the Silver Surfer, and it had to do with the Silver Surfer, which is a character from the comics that basically is this being that rides on a surfboard like ride thing, and he's basically destroying the Earth. And there's like these seismic anomalies that are going around Earth, making big craters in the Earth, and they have the team has to figure out why it's happening. While at the same time, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Sue Storm, this Invisible Woman, are actually what's cool about that is that in the first movie, Johnny Storm labels her as the Invisible Girl, which is not actually accurate. That's not how it is. But with the movie, it's Invisible Woman, which is strange. But they had basically they're getting married, and they have to figure out this anomaly at the same time, like, worry about getting married, which is really interesting. And another really interesting, there's a lot of things about this movie that I liked a lot. I mean, it delivered more than it should have gotten. Like I said last week with this movie. Like, these are two movies that I really liked. Like, they're really cool. I believe this movie came out the same year that Spider-Man 3 came out, and I had a review about that. A little, very, very long review. I'm sorry, but it was a review of that, and it was really kind of crazy because that year was a big year. 2007 was a big year. Because the movie came out then. I was thinking, oh, they can make a sequel in 109, that would be, fun, but they didn't make a sequel, which sucks, because I really like this movie. 20th Century Fox owns the rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four. They tried trying to reboot the movie, and it failed, of course, but this movie was really good because it had some great characters. I feel like one of the locations that we're in Siberia, I felt like it was the exact location that they filmed the X-Men 2 movie. The base that they were in, I think it was the exact location because it looked so familiar. Because I think they're Fox movies, so they're Marvel Fox movies. It really makes sense. But one of the good parts about this movie was the Stan Lee cameo. Now, he's known for doing a lot of cameos, and he's 94 years old. I've been close to him before. I've actually been in the same room as him. Like I mentioned last week, but his cameo was really funny this time. Like, most cameos are really good, but he actually did a good cameo. Like last episode I did Fantastic Four, he did a cameo as William Lipkin, who is actually a character he created for the movie, and in this movie he actually plays himself, of course. It's really funny because it was basically the wedding, the attempt wedding at of Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, and he gets ready to get to the wedding. This guy says, "Name, sir?" He's like, "Stan Lee." That's right. Like, no, I'm Stan Lee. And it's like, it was the funniest cameo that I've seen him in so far. He's just, it's really good. But I love the costumes. They did a really good job. I mean, I was surprised by how good it was. Like, I mean, kind of take the deal between Spider-Man 3, the costume from Spider-Man 3 and other Spider-Man movies, and equal that with this one, because like movies like X-Men, they don't really get the costumes accurate. None of those costumes are accurate. This is the first like duology, because it was a duology. I never got a trilogy, never got to see a third one, but this movie had really good, was really. I was like I mentioned last week with the costumes, with them looking good. I mean, they look really good. But I was more impressed by the fact that like we have the camera, the lighting the lighting makes the costumes, like the four emblem on the costumes, um, looks really good. Like it shines and it's really clear. You can see really well. It makes me wonder if the costume designer that made these costumes are the same costume designer that designed the costumes for Flash, because it looks really good, because they have like the emblem. It looks really nice and clear and shiny. It's really cool. Um, and it was overall really nice. And they brought back Doctor Doom, which is an interesting idea, because the last time we saw Doctor Doom, he was shut away in this cube thing, this crate, going somewhere, and then eventually he comes back. And then this time when he comes back, he actually gets the more comic accurate costume, because the first movie, when I was talking about how that changed the character, it was very different, because in this movie he looks more like his comic book counterpart, and then in the first movie he does look like his character from the comics, but then they changed it, and it's like in the first one he has just this coat with a hood on it, and then two little circles to represent the little thingies. I don't know what they're called. But in this one, they actually go to the lengths of actually giving it a cloak, and giving them like metal arms and a little gadget thingy, and then of course the helmet. But these things, they're actually more accurate. But it's really, I was surprised by it. And also, honestly, some of the best effects were used in this movie. I mean, seriously, it was a really good movie. Now the one thing that might have, I feel like they might have like done to the movie to make it look not the best, and that was with Silver Surfer and Galactus. I mean, I think Silver Surfer, for looking from the comics, he looks fine. I mean, he looks really good. Like, he looks like they take it from the comics and they just put it on the screen, which is really good considering he's voiced by Lawrence Fishburne. He did a good job in Matrix, and also the DC universe as Perry White. And in this movie, we also have Galactus. Now, I think the one thing that made people really mad about this movie, and this is my opinion about it, and I think this is what caused people to really throw an axe at the sequel, was Galactus. Now, I haven't seen what Galactus looks like, but I have seen little images and snippets of what he looks like in the comics. I think he has like this helmet, the headpiece or something. He's like this big purple red cloak thingy, or he wears a purple costume. Because I think you can battle Galactus in the Lego Marvel Superheroes game, and they didn't do that. I think the reason why it didn't get as much clarity as it got was the fact that Galactus didn't look anything like he did in the comics. I mean, they tried at least. I mean, I think they tried when I mean they tried. I mean there's a scene where Silver Surfer and actually I think also Human Torch, also played by Chris Evans because he did a good job, they go into the when Silver Surfer is going into the Galactus cloud thingy with all the twisters and stuff. He speaks to Galactus and he's like, "I want to Surfer," and then the screen flashes toward Galactus, and we see a little hint of his actual comic book costume or comic book figure. Like, we see him we kind of see a little bit of the headpiece, a little bit. Like, we don't all I see really is the shape of what could be his headpiece, and that's the only thing we're gonna get closest enough to his comic book counterpart. I think that's what fans were really angry with was the fact that he didn't look anything like the comics. I mean, hey, they tried, they gave a nod, they tried, they might have not done a good job with it, they may have like screwed it up, but they tried. I mean, I thought they did a good job with it. I mean, he was terrifying monster thingy, cloud thingy, wants to take over the planet. That's the idea. And it was really I think they did okay. I mean, it still was not the best movie from fans' perspective at least, but in my opinion, I loved it. Like, I loved the first one. These movies were really good. I think my favorite comic book movies ever is these movies. Because they went into so much detail, like the Fantastic Car. That was surprising. I had to actually stop the movie and look at the Fantastic Car online to see what it looked like, and I was surprised by how really good it was because it looks exactly like the one of the comics. I like how nowadays they're doing a really good job of making the character look like comics, but now they really did a good justice with that movie, with that specific thing. Um, and I really like that part. I really like the part that where they really did that. One thing I really did not like about this movie, and it's only one thing I didn't like it because there are, I mean, this when I do reviews, I focus on the pros and also the cons. I say the cons. Galactus, he could be a con because of I noticed he didn't look like he did in the comics because I just looked at the snippet online. I'm like, oh, that's what Galactus looked like, and you know the movie. It's like they nodded toward it. They put a little nod to it in the shape of his helmet, but they didn't really do much with that. And with this movie, the only con I can see is the idea of when each member of the Fantastic Four can change their powers. They can like swap powers, which is why would you do that? That's the weirdest thing I can think of doing for a movie is swapping powers. Why would you do that? Because you have I think it was Human Torch getting swap powers with Invisible Woman. So you have Human Torch Girl or whatever. You have Invisible Woman having Human Torch's powers, and then you have the opposite, and then you have a thing when they're in London. It was really cool, a little London battle, because they're trying to figure. The whole plot of the movie was they're trying to figure out why these anomalies are coming from, these big crater holes in the earth around the earth. In fact, the whole thing about that is they're trying to like. They are getting drafted by this general who's wanting to ask Reed Richards for help for getting this thing solved. And one of the things they did was they had this problem with the powers. They went to London to investigate, and one of the things they did was they had to stop this Ferris wheel. I think it was a Ferris wheel. I think it was like I think it was a Ferris wheel actually. And they had to stop that. And Mr. Fantastic did this really cool thing where he stretched. I mean, he was really. I love that effect. The effects they have in this movie and last movie were really cool. Like, oh my god, it's so. Whenever I see powers in motion, whether it be Human Torch with the effects are really cool. Oh my god, it's so cool. Nerding out like that. Like, oh my god, it's so cool. They have like Mr. Fantastic doing his little stretchy thing was really cool. That was awesome. It was so cool to see him stretch all around the thingy, and then of course when Human Torch gets in the way, he powers. That was crazy. But I think the one thing I really did not like about the movie was the whole swap powers thing. I mean, I'm still talking about it, but the one thing that really caught me off guard and when I'm like, oh, that's weird. Was when you have Human Torch and Thing selling powers. Because Ben Grimm's just like, oh, I'm gonna tell him when he touches him, and then accidentally you have Johnny Storm. He's now the rock monster power that Ben Grimm has, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it was just like, okay. I didn't like it very much. It was really weird and disgusting. It was like, ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still getting over the fact that Mr. Fantastic can do like weird things with his hands. And it was, honestly, they expanded upon they gave the actors more screen time with their powers. I really feel like they did a really good job with that. One thing I really did not know about the movie was one of the characters, Alicia Masters, who's the girlfriend. I think she's the girlfriend of, yeah, she's the, I mean, I was thinking wife, but I don't think it's quite there yet. But she's the girlfriend of the Thing, Ben Grimm. And one thing I was confused about during the movie, and last movie too, was she seems to like not look at people in the eye, and like it's really confusing. And then it turns out I'm like, well, and then of course it was like when Johnny Storm made the joke of have you seen how many girls I've dated or something like that? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. So I looked it up, and it turns out that the character of Alicia Masters, played by Kerry Washington, um, is that she's blind. She's a blind sculpturist or something like that. She makes sculptures and she's blind. I'm like, oh, that explains that. So I didn't know that. It was really interesting. I'm like, okay, that's new. So that was a really interesting part. But some of the best parts of the movie were each of the characters, just the costumes in general were so cool. Like, oh my god, I love the fact that the force on the emblem. Like, I'm really thinking that the Flash costume designer made this costume because it looks so cool. They look accurate, everything. They look really cool. Of course, Jessica Alba looks hot as ever. I mean, like, I love the fact that Ione Griffin's character, Mr. Fantastic, like, comments the fact that Jessica Alba's hot. Like, she had said to her, like, I'm engaged to the hottest girl in town, which is completely true because in real life, Jessica Alba is really freaking hot. I mean, seriously, like, in the movie, Invisible Woman, like, she already wears enough makeup, eyeliner, eyeshadow, lip gloss, all that, stuff, but, like, she's gorgeous enough, to play the part. I feel like, really crappy thing about the movie that I read about was the fact that the reason why the movie didn't do well is because the character doesn't look like counterparts. I think one of the things was like Invisible Woman doesn't look like her counterpart. What's the problem? I mean, have you seen the character in the comics? She looks really good. I mean, seriously. This is the most comic accurate movie that I've seen, and it was really, really good because you have amazing voice talents. You have Lawrence Fishburne playing Silver Surfer. You have Galactus, which was a really interesting idea for a character, for a villain to have Galactus. Because everyone thinking, oh, Silver Surfer is the main villain. No, it's actually not true. Galactus is the main villain. But overall, it was a really, really fun movie to watch. I really liked it. The powers were really cool. I love the favorite part of the movie was the fight between because there's a part of the movie where not only does Sue Storm die in the end. I know, been like what 10 years since the movie came out. Let's get over it, guys. But she dies, and she dies. But basically, before she dies, everyone gets their powers together to fight Doctor Doom one last time because he goes back and he. I'll have to include that because Doctor Doom he looks better in this movie than he did in the last movie. Not judging anyone, but he just looks better. And there's a really cool fight in the end of the movie where you have Human Torch fighting Doctor Doom, but not in the way you think of it. All four members of the Fantastic Four combine their powers and they give them to Johnny Storm, and he basically has the power, the thing, the flight of himself, of course, the invisibility of Sue, and the stretchability of Mr. Fantastic, which is really cool. Because you have this big fight where he's like tangled on, he's like wiping himself around Doctor Doom, and you have all these powers in motion. It was like really cool, and of course you have the classic. I heard this from a friend of mine. It's clever in time. That was really. I mean, that's a classic line, but my goodness, that climax battle was so cool. My goodness, I'm not saying it's better than the first one, but it was definitely an improvement. It really gave you more screen time with the character. I mean, also, the Fantastic Four was cool too. I mean, so much stuff was cool about this. Like, you got the Batch building with the 4 on top of it. I mean, they go into almost detail. They put the 4 logo on the Fantastic Four and the Batch building, and of course the interior of the place. But the idea of the movie was they're trying to like have a wedding because that's the idea that they're having a wedding and it keeps getting interrupted, so they have to do this, and it was. Oh my god, there's so much to that movie I loved. It was just so good. It was so fun to watch. It was amazing. I loved it. It's Marvel Comics. Of course, something I didn't mention in the last week episode was the comic intro, the comic flap, which is very interesting because it actually comic flaps to blue, opposed to the red of Marvel, which is not surprising because the uniform color of the Fantastic Four is blue. So that's really cool. But I feel like nowadays, the comics are getting more accurate, and this is this is the best comic book movie in terms of accuracy because first movie they showed it, but I feel like they didn't really give the lighting didn't really show it too much. But with this movie, it really showed off a lot better, and I love the fact that a lot of the characters come back. Like you have Doctor Doom. He does a really good job with the parts. All the characters do a really good job. I mean, what is really sucky about the movie is the fact that it's shorter than the last movie. I didn't realize that because the last movie was an hour and 45 minutes, and this movie was only an hour and 31 minutes, which is really unusual because it's not typically a movie, not typically a thing you see for a movie. Also, it didn't have post-credit scene, which I feel like that's happened. That was a big thing until Iron Man came out. That was a big thing. Like, I guess they didn't put post-credit scene in movies for Marvel movies and before Iron Man came out. So I guess the whole post-credit scene scenario happened after Iron Man came out. I think it was only exclusive to Iron Man or Marvel Studios movies only, because you didn't have a lot of post-credit scenes really at all. Like, I don't really think you had anything besides that. I think Iron Man was the first. The Marvel Cinematic Universe was the first one to have like all these post-credit scenes. I think the Spider-Man movies, they didn't have it. No, they didn't have it. Although Spider-Man 2 was gonna have it with the X-Men, but yeah, I was surprised by it. Like, oh, there's no post-credit scene. That's confusing. But overall, I liked it a lot. It was so good. Like, awesomeness, everything. The power effects were really good. The flight of the Human Torch, that costume was, the portrayal of each character, actor was really good. It's a letdown that there's not making a third one. They never made a third one. That was the con of it, is the fact that they didn't really set it for a movie like that, but they definitely didn't do it justice with giving it a third movie, because I would have loved to see a third movie. It just didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. I guess they signed on for a new movie, but it didn't happen. But anyway, overall, I'd give it a spot on 10 out of 10. Okay, maybe not. Okay, 8 out of 10, because of the whole power shop thing. That bugged me a lot. Because of that, and that's really all I can say about the movie. It was really awesome. There was some really good scenes. Each character looked amazing in their part. Lawrence Fishburne did a good job voicing the Silver Surfer. You have all these amazing characters. You have Dr. Doom did a good job with that. Each been member of the Fantastic Four, they really look awesome on screen. The thing looks fine. It was just amazing to see. I loved it. It was so good. I didn't have any problems with it at all. Besides the power shop thing, it was just a little ridiculous. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Especially the Stanley cameo. That was really. It was always nice to see Stanley. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to this channel, I do reviews like this and podcasts and other stuff like that. So make sure to subscribe to me, as well as my second channel, Ultimate Gaming. Don't forget to that. And if you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And you can click here, I think, to go to last week's episode, which I did Fantasy IV if you missed that episode. And you can click right here to go to my other review, where I think I was Guide of Egypt. Yeah, I think it was Guide of Egypt. And yeah, really, honestly, this Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Well, obviously, but oh my goodness, this movie was so good. It was incredible. I'm sad to say that they're not making a third one, but I was really, really happy with the movie. I feel like it was the first movie that was more practical, or first movie duo that was actually practical, because the thing was practical. But yeah, they look spot on. Each character, each actor did a good job with the movie. Anyway, again, I really thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time for the next episode. Alright, see ya.